Welcome back, generals, to another Let's Fix Generals 0 Hour to make the best game ever. Good, so we want to continue here with creating the commits for the file system ignore change that we did. So we already have a bunch of small commits in there. So what is the next step? So we could do maybe search subts. This one is this do we need to? Is this a separate change? This anyone here or not? Let me see. So basically, I'm trying to decouple the changes that don't necessarily need to be included in the final change that adds a new feature, like refactors or fixing some other unrelated things. Well, not directly related things. So why did we do this here? Load flags. Unsigned int. Why did we do that? I don't remember what the reason for this was. Because we want the file to not be required. Right. So here it's not required. Yeah. Expects file found. We'll be right back. So, yeah, so the purpose of this was to be able to load without expecting a file. Yeah. Expect to open and load at least one file. Mhm. 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 Yeah, so this is fine. And this is meant to be public, yeah. Public. Yeah. Okay. Load file directory. Let me say tweak any allow call any without throwing if allow call without throwing if no file was loaded. Throwing when no file was loaded. Allowed to call without throwing when no file was loaded. There we go. Okay, next change. Pass Utah. So I guess this one here, maybe. This one here needs deletion. Okay. I think we also still need to replicate some changes in here. So let me do that. So da, 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 da. So here we have this one. And then does file exist? Does file exist here? Is file ignored? Is file ignored? So yeah. Do we do that before or after pass is empty? Pass is empty. Fix file name from Windows pass. I guess we can keep it like that. Okay, then we have this one. Okay. I do wonder why is this located not at the top? Because it needs to concatenate them. I see. I see. I see. Good, then this is correct. And then here we have find insert. Find insert, it's here, new file name, is that right? Eta pass string. Pass string. Okay. Okay. File ignored. Already covered before. Maybe we should add a bit of spacing here, so it's a bit easier to read that shit, like that. Okay. Okay, what else do we have? Get file info. So there we do this at the top, yeah. Pass empty. Get file info. Pass empty. Empty. If is file ignored. Okay. Okay. Local file system. Can make a fix-up commit here and add this one there. Okay, what else do we have? Then let's remove this comment at the top. So, is file ignored? Blah, blah, blah. Let's check if it's the same now. Yeah. Yeah. Looks about the same. Okay. Do we need to... So this one is also a separate change here. CMake. I'm missing a change here. Oh. This one was not supposed to go in there. Okay. Let me do a reset current branch to here. Mixed. There we go. So this one goes here. So we have this guy and then this guy. Pass util, then we remove this. And we do this. And then that's it. Let me say chore includes pass util.h in game common.h. Okay, we have that, and then oh boy. This one here is also a refactor. Here we also have a whole bunch of refactors. So I think here we do this and this. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is also a refactor. All of this is... Oh. Here we also have in part a refactor, which we should separate. Yeah, there's a little bit of a dilemma here. Let me say that the diff is not great. Archive file. Info ignore. So how do we deal with this? I think for starters we remove this. Then we have a diff. Then let's add a space here. We do that, and then we re-add this here. Okay. And we do like this. Okay. Good. Then okay, here this is also a refactor down here. This is already staged, never mind. Good. So is there anything else? Anything else? Archive file. So this one, maybe it can be a separate change as well, because it is replacing the functionality in this function. Yeah. Okay, I think it looks overall pretty decent. So let me go to, okay, fine. So here, this one. Let's see what we can make protected there. So this guy is being called. Okay, this one needs to be protected. What about this one? What about this one? Let's start with the following. Let's start with this one here first, the members. Yeah. Let's go one by one. Okay. Okay. Good. There we have a compiler error. Cannot access private member. Okay. Okay. So this one needs to be protected. Yeah. Let's try that. Okay, then let's check this one. I think this one needs to be, oh, that was wrong. I think this one needs to be protected. So expect a compiler now. Yeah. Okay, but I think that this one here, I think this one can be private. The other two, like so. Let's see that. Okay, that works. And let's go with that. So what do we have? We make this one private and this one protected. And this one is being protected. And to do make const char. Get file info. What about this? Get file info. Get file info. Yeah. Okay. Ah. So here it will allocate a string. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, this is a bit odd. Get file info. What is this doing? Get archive file. Yeah, okay, but this one also takes a string now. Yeah, no, let's not touch this. Okay. Good. Then I think this is fine. So here we moved this to protected, made this protected private. We moved this to protected. And did a bunch of simplifications here. Okay, this looks good. Then refactor, simplify code in. Did we have such a change already? String management. Refactor, simplify. Simplify code in archive file, archive. All right. Then I would like to check if it actually still compiles on its own here, which might not be the case if we made a mistake. Let's see. Hopefully this compile. Okay, that has worked. Fantastic. Good, then we do a stash pop, and then we do pass util. Okay. Blah 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 blah. Truncate pass in place. Regarding this function, I think it would be nice to add here the parentheses, the curly braces. Yeah. Okay. Okay, this is all looking tasty. Tasty. This change we don't need for now. This is looking good. Right, so we still have this guy here. So we could do get archive file info. Apps file name. Yeah, because it's not apps file name. This one is not directly related to the file ignore. This is more like an improvement that the lookup is faster. Archive file info. Archive file info. Okay. So I think what we do here is this, and then we take this and this and why is this a friend here? Hold on. Is that still necessary? This friendness. I may remove that. Reload all. Okay. Good, so we don't need that. That's great. Okay, but we need this thing here. So we have this type there. We have this guy. Apps file name to file info. File name concat. Path. Insert is not the end. This is not the end. So, trying to figure out if there's no error here. Why is it not checking this boolean here? Is that not relevant? Checking whether it was freshly inserted or not. I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure about this here. This line. Whether we should check that it is freshly inserted. So let's say this one is false. It was not newly added. Then this one is not necessary. Let's see. So this result means second is true. So it was freshly added. I will be right back. So So this is, second is true. So I would imagine, so let me see. So this is a, what is this? Unordered map? Map. Map insert C++. So map insert return. Return value. Bool value set to true if and only if the insertion took place. Yeah, so the question is, do we only want to enter this path only if the insertion took place? Is there any case where we still need to do this if the insertion did not occur here, but it was already in here? Is that a valid thing? Probably not. Or is it? Let's think about this. So there's a, it updates it, right? Maybe this line here is a little bit long. How about we do a type diff results. Okay, now it's a little bit shorter. Yeah. Yeah, so we insert result that shit. Let me ask. I really just want to make sure that I don't make a mistake. Is it guaranteed? Is it? Let me ask. Like so. If we insert into an std map, into a std map, insert into a std map, is the returned pair guaranteed to return a valid non-end iterator if the second pair, the second, how do we call this, the second element of the pair is true. The turn type is yes. First iterator pointing to the element with a given key. Second is true when new element was inserted, and false if second is true, then a new element was successfully inserted. First points to the newly inserted element. Therefore, first cannot be end. In fact, even if second is false, first still points to the existing element with the equivalent key, so it is also not end. What? But only if it... Right, because insert always success gives us an iterator, right? Right, so it's never end. Right. Guaranteed to refer to the relevant elements, not end. Right, okay. Yeah, then I don't know what I did here. That's stupid. Then let's do just result.second. That's it. So it was newly inserted. Then we do all of this. I think that's fair. Let's check if that still works. So do that. Results. Second file name. Second. There we go. Okay, cool. That's cool. And we should get a crash. There we go. Yeah. Okay, that works. Then let's go back to archive file. Here. Then we take this guy. And then make this change here. We also now need the new utils that we have added. So we need all of these things here. Sorry. Okay, equal to path. Okay. So we take these guys, and then we also need this. And by the way, I think we haven't tested the lower casing. So how about we test that by doing, let's do a data like this. So that should still work. Let's see. May remove the other ones. So that should still work the way it did before. Yeah, okay. Files read 0. Okay, cool. Excellent. Good. Then we take all of these guys and these guys. Return file extension part from absolute or relative paths when present, null otherwise. We don't need these here yet. Okay. So set less than path. Okay, we take this guy as well. We also take these guys. Yeah. And then we take okay, file. Okay, fire. Is that it? Okay, fire. So, STL type devs, blah, 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 blah. File system, so here we use less than path. Yeah, file name list. File exist map. Did we catch everything or are we missing something here? Let me see. Okay. Then yeah. So this one expects stable. Yeah. Maybe we should add a static assert here. So this one expects that this here. Okay, file system. Yeah, let's add an assert here. Static assert. Decal type. Decal type. SCD. Oh, how do we do that? How can we static assert that a class type is std map type traits is std map. Jesus. Static asserts. Oh boy. Right, a type trait that is true. Ugh. Can we do it shorter? Can we do it in one line? In the static assets. Yes. Is same v. Yeah, that's good. I think that's fine. SCD is same. My type. So can we do that? Take a type. Yeah. And so this one is a STD map. Okay. Yeah, this looks good. And then here we say hash map expects stable references. Because if this was changed to something that doesn't have stable references, then this would break. Yeah. Good. Now we have a guarantee that's not easily broken. It looks a bit unholy here because it's so long. But maybe that's fine. Maybe put it at the bottom. I don't know. Looks a bit unholy, doesn't it? Maybe we can say const expr. Oh no, we can't do that. No, I think this is fine. Yeah. Good. Maybe we can just put it like so. Put it at the end. Yeah. We could also do would that work? Do it like this? No. Okay. Why not? Okay. Well, it's fine then, I guess. Okay. Good. Then we take this guy. So we did multiple things here now. We also changed these guys. Okay. Where are these things used? File name list. File name list. Yeah. File name list begin and file name list. I wonder if, so this is a set. Why is this a set? Why is this not a vector? Because it's not used as a, it's not used as a set, or is it? Are we not looking up anything in it? Why is it a set? So that it is sorted, or sorted? Hmm. 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 I wonder if it can be a vector. So how does this look like? We have an insert, new file name. Find. Why does it do, so is this ever, does it ever find something in there? Like, why is it doing that? Let me make a test here. So here let's do else printf. Yeah, put a breakpoint. And the same in archive file system. Yeah. Yeah. Else. Printf. So, will this hit or not? Let's see. if it doesn't hit, then to me this implies that we can probably make it a vector, right? Now we still have this here. Let me remove this. Crash. Okay. Huh. Okay, that's interesting. So the game doesn't work. No. Okay, this must be something else, no? Load file directory. Load. Game data. Okay, I don't know what that is now. Looks like we broke the game. Yeah. Broke the game. Cool. Well, that sucks. Let's do... okay, let me make it this already a change. So we call this... simplify lookup in and make for exist map as agnostic. Case and slash. Say ignore case and slash. Okay, so this is vector, well, tweak archive, say file system. So then let me do the following. We do a stash. Yeah. Then we do a compile, and then we see why it crashes and who introduced that. Hmm. One failed. Uh-oh. We have a compiler. Huh? Okay. Oh, shit. I see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's remember that we have added that. Okay. I think the simplest is if we do a stash pop. Which we can't. We do a stage. Then we do a stash pop. Then we add this. And then we again do a stash. And then we compile again. There we go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Cool, cool, cool. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. That compiles, which is good. Then we do an install. Let's see if it crashes on boot. It does. Okay, that's cool. Let's see what the problem is. Okay, so we have broken something. Let's see what we broke. Let's go one back here. This is why it's useful to do it in steps, because then it's possible to go back and test one by one. What would have caused that? Hmm. 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 Okay, fantastic. Hmm. Okay, let's launch that. Okay, so it is the last commit. Okay, that's cool. Then let's try to figure out exactly what the problem is. So we do a, where are we? Yeah, check out. Okay, so something in here breaks the game. Why? Why? Is there something else missing from this change, or? Mm. Okay, file info. Not sure. Is it this change here that causes it? I wouldn't think so. No case. ASCII string. There must be a reason. Okay, let's see that. Nope, it's not that. What could it be? I don't think it's that. I think it has something to do with this here. Archive file info. I don't know. I suspect it's this function here. Let me copy what it was before. This archive file. So I did all of this here and this. So that's the old one. Let's test that again. Okay, so I wonder what's going on here. I mean, this one should be correct. Let me see. Insert. Let me see if there's any else hit here. Printf. Very interesting. Data ini default game data ini. Template hash map is garbage. What? Thing factory. Data any default game data. Data any game data. Data any game data. So it looks like it parses something that it's not supposed to parse. Okay, how does that happen? Okay, load file name. Game data ini. Why is there an object in there? Huh. Okay, that's a mysterious crash. Why is there an object in game data ini? What is this? Oh, that is so interesting. Yeah, that's curious. How can we solve this? How can we solve this? Oh. How can we solve this garbage? How can we solve this? We need to do something. Okay. Right now, I don't understand why it loads objects when we load game data in here. It doesn't make sense to me. It's very interesting. Very interesting. Can we figure this out? Well, we have to. Does file exist? So I wonder if it links to wrong contents. So this file. Okay. Archive. So I think I have an idea what to check for. So how about we go to archive file and actually no, we can open the watch right away. So the archive file is here. We have a can't look at the private ones. What is this? Okay. So let's look at archive inizh.big, this one. So there we go. Oh. Oh, well that doesn't look as expected. Yeah. So AI data.ini links to Stealth General ini. Okay, so it's totally wrong here, the stuff. Yeah. Okay, well that sucks. How did that happen? Okay, well, that's bad. Okay, that certainly looks very, very bad. Then let's put a breakpoint here and see what's going on there. So, files. Okay, we had another one. So let's do a few. Okay, but this looks healthy. Right. So this is a map in a map. It should be stable, no? This map is contained. Okay, there's something going wrong somewhere, but I don't know yet what it is. Do we copy some map? To me, it looks like we're somehow breaking the references. But how? It worked before, right? Pass. So archive file is allocated here, and then we add files. Yeah. So file name, file info, this file info. Where's this coming from? This one is also allocated here. Yeah. I actually realize right now that this one is not necessary because actually, hold on. Files, insert. How? Is there a memory leak here? Or am I looking at this wrong? So here it allocates this file info. It sets a bunch of things on there. Oh, and then it deletes it here. Oh, that's some stupid stuff. Why is it doing that? Probably because it's no, there's no need to allocate that thing. Okay, let me do a file info dot okay. Okay. Not that it changes anything, but that doesn't hurt. So we add a whole bunch of files. 33, 8. Still 8. Huh. It's not. It's not growing larger than 8. Huh. Okay, that's interesting. So if we look at this, What the hell? How's that happening? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Oh boy. File name. Okay, that's interesting. So there must be something going wrong, either with a hashing or yeah, something is going wrong here. At owl. File name. Second. Key I1. Okay. Hash path equal to path. Oh, that's a mistake. Fantastic. Fantastic. Very, very fantastic. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm-hmm. So let's give that a spin. 10. Okay, and here we also have now 11, 12. Yeah, okay, so now it works. Fantastic. Okay, great. Then okay, let's see if this ever hits here. Does not. Game boots. Fantastic. Good. Then we can remove this one. Okay. System. Yeah, so I think this one here is good as well. So this one we need to merge down. Okay, and then this one we reset. Send path. Okay, then we also reset this. And then here we replicate this. Open archive file. Da-da-da. Okay, here this is the same bullshit. Then we remove this and this. All right, and this and this. Okay, we can merge this down to this one here. Okay, stage commit. Then we do a squash. Okay, and then we rename this to simplify string and allocation management. std local. Hold on, this is actually for a different change. I just realized. We shouldn't have merged it down in there. Yeah. Just realized now this one is local file system and this one is a different one. Yeah, I could have made it 2 commits. Yeah. Okay, let me revert this commit. And then we do a fix up for this. And we reset these guys. Then we do a commit. And then we do a revert of this one. And then this one we do tweak factor. It's not really giving much performance. File system remove obsolete allocation in obsolete allocation in there. Okay. Rebase, blah, blah. Okay. Okay, fantastic. And then we do a stash pop. Okay, great. And then all the rest should be for us. On this one we right, we wanted to test this, see if this hits. So put a breakpoint here and there. Yeah, but it's but even then, yeah, I probably shouldn't touch it at this change. It's too risky. I'll just remove it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Good. I think we're good. Then, so we need to write something about it. Yeah, so at feature today is 26/07 2026 load load file system. Load file system any loads file system any before loading any other any file to allow ignore or to allow control the file system before loading other game contents. To allow set up the file system, such as setting up ignored files and directories, ignored game files and directories. We should probably move this after archive. To allow configure the file system, such as setting up ignored game files and directories. See file system ignore. Okay, we should also in a file system here pass feature functionality to ignore functions for ignoring local and archive functions to ignore files and directories on the local file system or in the archive file system. Let's say and on the local file system and in the archive. Local and archive file systems. say ignore files and directories on the local and archive file systems. Files and directories. Maybe we should add this up here. 2607 2026 implements. Ignore functionality for files and directories. Can be controlled by a file system. Say data/ini file system.ini. Can be called any time during engine runtime. Can be called at any time during engine runtime. Can be data controlled. Controlled by data. Okay. Can be controlled by data with file system ignore in definitions. Okay. Okay, I think that's good enough for documentation. Okay, cool. Now there's one more question regarding World Builder and potentially other tools. So let me open CMake. World Builder, no, RTS. 0 tools. Yeah. Okay, let's enable the tools. Okay, reload. All right. Cool. Cool. Good. Yeah, I think documentation is sufficient. Yeah. By the way, why is this here a pointer? What is this? Why is this so stupid? How about we make this... Okay, never mind then, because those are pass. Yeah, let's leave it, I guess. Okay, whatever. Okay. So, So we have any file system. We have ignore file, ignore directory, blah blah blah. Ignore directory. Okay. 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 Ignore file data. Blah blah blah. Skip parent directories. Blah blah blah. Okay. Okay, this is good. File system ignore, good. Then we take all of this, yep, good. Then we take ignore subdirectories and its files. Okay, blah blah. ignore. Ignore file, blah. Ignored. Okay. I think here we can put this there. Okay, fire. Let's leave it on. Okay, we have that shit. Success. Maybe we should do the success here as well. Ignore file. Success. Or we say ignored is more accurate, but it's very similar to this one here. Maybe say was ignored. Okay. Let's do the same here. Ignore file was ignored. There we go. Success, success. All right. Was ignored. Looking good. Remove this file from the existence cache. Okay. Then we have this shit and this. Open fire. Blah blah. Is directory ignored? Sorry. They were already covered before. So I've already tested before. Okay. All right. File ignored. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, okay. It's looking good. pass util, yep. Right, we still wanted to compile and then check the tools. So let's go to game engine. Let's search for this path here. So it's in map cache builder and world builder. Okay, loads new any before any other any files to allow configure the file system. Okay. Then we should do the same here. And it's aha. Why don't we make this part of init subsystem path 1, path 2, path 1, path 2. Default. Right. Must come after local file system. How about, what does this do here? Any subsystem, path 1 init subsystem. Okay, well, that's interesting. Sys set name. Okay. So I would say what we do here is we also add a default because all the other systems have it, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, for some reason. Yeah. Okay. Okay, then we need to do the same here. Any. Okay. So we can place it right here. then we also put it here. Okay. Not very pretty, but gets the job done for now. Okay. Fantastic. Good. Okay, let's see if World Builder still boots. I haven't launched it in forever. Where is it? World Builder. Let's see if it still launches. Debug. Oh. What is it called? Let's build a zh.exe. Okay, fantastic. Good. Then I think that's all right. So in ignore file was ignored. Ignore file. Okay. Turn true. Okay. Okay. Local file system. Early out if no ignored things are set up. Maybe we add this comment here. Yeah, doesn't really fit here. Okay, early out if no ignored things. Out if nothing is ignored. That's a better language, I would say. Nothing is ignored. Okay. Okay. Here we can also add a comment. Look. Check parent directories. Okay, I think this helps with understanding this a bit. Okay. I need some liquid here. The mouth is already dry. Not good. All right. File hash map. Good. Anything else? Truncate in, truncate pass in place, truncate pass. I think the name of this function is a little bit ambiguous. Do we have a better name for this? Because I would expect not everyone understands what that means. Truncate path. How about one level up, one deer up? One truncate path. We just add a comment. Remove trailing forwards or backwards slashes. is actually the meaning of truncate? Truncate meaning. Maybe that's not even the right term. Shorten or reduce. Shorten. Dropping one or more digits after the decimal point. Replace. Shorten. Truncate, shorten. Maybe trim is a better word. Trim meaning. Clipping. Trim. Okay, let's call this trim trailing slash. And here, let's call this trim, if it wants to, doesn't want to. Trim pass, trim last pass segment in place. Removes trailing pass segment until the next slash. Let's say until and including the last slash. Removes trailing pass segment until including the last slash. Yeah. Okay. All right. That is reasonably polished, I would say. There we go. Fantastic. Good. Then here, this is feature file system. Implement ignore implement file and directory ignore functionality for the local and archive file systems. File and directory ignore functionality for the local and archive file systems. A new optional data ini file system dot ini can will be loaded is a new optional is loaded early and can be configured with file ignore is file system ignore definitions. File system ignore and name equals directory slash file dot ext and type equals dir. Let's say this one is file or dir. Okay, I don't know what's going on here with this pop-up. What is this? Stop it. Yeah. So, implement file and directory ignore functionality for the local and archive file systems. A new optional data ini file system ini is loaded early and can be configured with file system ignore definitions. Yeah, let's do it like that. Okay. Great. Okay, that's a lot of commits here. Okay, and then we have this one here. I don't know if we need this in the end. Let me just create a branch for now. Let's say work in progress. ASCII string find and replace. Don't need it right now, but maybe one day we want it. ASCII string find and replace. Fantastic. Okay. Then unify with flags, that's gone. Good. All right, so then let's see one more time if this shit compiles. It took us quite a while to implement all this, but I think it's looking solid. Yeah. We found a whole bunch of other things that we needed to fix along the way because nothing was working. Yeah. Okay. Then global data ini. Yeah, okay. Let me search that as well. It's a good point. Yep. Firewall behavior. Yeah. Okay. Good point. Good observation. They do not exist. Good to remove this shit. Okay. Resolve. This one should say to set Good. Then I think I will take a break now, and then next session we will do the code review for this thing, and then I need to follow up on some of my other reviews, like this one here. I think there were a lot of comments in there, and maybe some other things. Let me see if we can merge anything already. So this one still has something left. Still has one to do, yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Then let me also disable the tools again. I don't care for them. Build tools, boom, generate, done. All right. Okay, cool. Then we still have one more edit here, I just see. Right. Then let me merge that down. Okay, cool. All right. I think that was a good session. Got a lot of stuff done. That's great. The next section we pull requests and follow up on some of these things here. And there's no shortage of work. Yeah. It just keeps on going forever. Forever. Okay, cool. Then let's end it here. Wish you a great day or night. Until next time. Goodbye.